Since their inception, I have used PoiPriestess, shown here, made by Flowtoys, because I find them to be absolutely fantastic. In the beginning, I was a beta tester, but having worked with their products prior to that, it was a no-brainer to try it out, and over the years I have not been disappointed. Recently, my O-ring, this part at the bottom of the capsule that's shown here, that fits into the case itself and helps maintain the fitting of the pod, broke on one of the poi. And I didn't realize it. I kept sticking the capsule back in, and it kept not working properly. What also happened is the O-ring got stuck in the bottom of the actual pod inside of the center. As you can see here, I'm attaching a new O-ring, and there's one way that it attaches properly. You can see that it's shaped so that the capsule fits around it, and then you slide it on, and it'll snap into place as shown here. I've had PoiPriestess for 12 years, and I've never had to replace this part before. So I checked my work by lining the two of them up next to each other and ensuring that they were correct, because there is a gap in the ring, and I wasn't sure if it was on correctly. The next step after putting the ring in place is to slip the pod around the capsule, pushing the capsule down into the center. After doing that, and you really do want to make sure when you do that, you snap it into place so that it's secure. After doing that, you then put the tri-ring on, and you put the 3 petals into place. And it works best if you line the straight lines of the tri-ring up with the lines between each of the 3 petals of the pod. I know mine's a little dirty, but I'm going to change out the cord soon, and I'll clean it when I do that. Now, the other problem was the ring at the bottom broke in the bottom of the pod, as you can see here, and I'm trying to pull it out, which was actually quite a bit more of a struggle than I expected it to be, in part because I had no good pliers that would slip in there that also had a good grip on them. These are jewelry pliers, so they don't have a very rough surface to grab with. The ring itself was actually broken, and it came out in 2 different pieces. First, it came out in a smaller piece, shown here, but then I had to manipulate and work at it pretty hard to get the other part out, which took maybe 3 or 4 minutes. I also have weak hands though, so that might have gone more quickly for somebody with less of a challenge than I have. I tried to use my fingers to get in there, but I couldn't get enough leverage underneath it. And after a bunch of just working it with the pliers, I did get it out. I didn't want to bore you with all of the footage of that, but here you can see me finally being successful. And you can see the 2 pieces of the ring on the table. Now the next step, like with the other one, is to stick the capsule back into the pod. What's really helpful, in my experience, is to line up the charging port with the opening between the petals so that you can easily attach the cord and charge it without having to take off the tri-ring. If you don't have yours set up that way, you can open up the pod, take off the tri-ring, and move it, rotate it in the actual pod if necessary. And I recommend that you do that because it's so much easier than trying to figure out how to get your cord to reach to the charging port. And then, of course, after putting it back together, for whatever reason, I struggle getting my tri-ring on sometimes. But after getting it back together, you want to test and make sure that your capsules are functioning the way they should. And you're all set. Hope this was helpful.